podcast where we,
your favorite married couple,
dive into the world of TV shows, one episode at a time. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Laura, and each week we watch and dissect everything from drama to comedy, sci-fi to reality TV.
Whether we're loving a show,
hating it,
or just somewhere in between,
we bring our honest, no-holds-barred opinions.
And of course, some laughs along the way.
So grab your popcorn,
get cozy,
and join us as we break down our favorite binge-worthy shows.
One review at a time. Let's get started. Hi, Laura.
Howdy ho. How's it going?
Good. We have a special guest with us here on TV Tortured. Basically, almost just like our boss. He runs us.
No.
The one and only, the GOAT of podcasting, Mr. Brad.
What up? I'm excited. Thanks for having me on tonight. I couldn't even sleep last night because I was so excited about this moment. Yes, this moment.
To come on to the world-renowned TV Tortured podcast.
It's the best podcast hosted by husband and wife that talks about crappy TV shows.
Boom. That's
there
right.
There we go. Number one.
Although today we are doing a little bit of a special because this one isn't crappy.
No, this one's amazing.
This one is pretty amazing, and we are going to take some time today, folks, to talk about 60 Days In.
Ooh, it's a good one.
A reality show where you volunteer to go to prison, to go to jail.
We should call Hopecast 60 Days In. It's a reality show where you volunteer to host a podcast for at least 60 days.
60 episodes in.
Yeah, 60 episodes. You can't quit until you're at 60. So you can punch them out when you want. Yeah.
We're going to call you Tap Out.
Yeah, we've had a few tap outs here at the network, but we don't like tap outs.
Tap outs are bad.
We shame a tap out. We make fun of tap outs.
As they should be. You went in, you take this show, so 60 Days In is a reality TV show where these sheriffs and people of the prison community have volunteered their prison to find out what's the good, the bad, the ugly of their prisons. And they find usually up to 6 volunteers to go inside these jails for 60 days so they can learn all the ins and outs of the inmates, the terrible guards, how the drugs are getting in, all this good, fun stuff. And there's been 9 seasons. And we all watched the Utah season. Yes, there's been 9 seasons of 60 Days In. 9
seasons. Can you imagine that many people wanting to go to prison? Volunteering. Many bad marriages out there that people are willing to leave their spouse.
Don't we have inmates on the run right now from New Orleans, like 7 escaped convicts? You got people escaping prison, and you've got normal schlubs like us volunteering to go into prison.
Send me in.
What do you call it, Laura? Your jailcation?
Yeah, your jailcation. Just go away. No
hey,
bills.
Brad, I love you, Kristen, but what do you want, Brad? You want to go on vacation? Yeah, I do, but minus you. What do you mean? Like, I'm thinking, maybe just lock me up. Just
60 days.
Are you saying you feel locked up in our marriage? No. I love our marriage, baby. I love it, but I just want to get locked up in a jail cell with another dude.
You're like,
married.
This one I'm volunteering for.
Yeah, I'm volunteering. There may come a time where I might end up in jail. I can be prepared.
It's true.
For the jail.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I think some 60-day participants have landed in prison after
they have.
They're voluntary. And I'm thinking,
or ate a bullet.
I've done 2 months already. Time served. Like
that would be good.
That'd be boss. Be like, look, I've already done 60 days in. That count.
You've sentenced me to 45, as you can see. I've succeeded.
How bad must jail be for a guy like, what's his name, Nate Burrell, where he spends like 2 months in the Fulton County jail and then commits a real crime, and he's like, I don't want to go back to jail. I'm just going to eat a bullet. Like, I would rather eat a bullet than just go serve 5 years in prison. Yeah.
So sad. He was a fan favorite too. People really like Nate.
I'm watching him now. I'm into it. So yeah.
Yeah.
I think a big piece of that is like what the charges were, because you don't want to go to prison for what he was going to prison for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also doesn't have that tap out. See, the tap outs, You got the get out of jail free card
You do.
when
Literally.
you show up, literally. But you can't. He can't go. Oh, I need to watch more TV channels, and they're like, "Oh, let Nate out. He did the code." What if there was a code?
Hot coffee, yeah. And the guards are like, yeah.
It's getting cold in here.
Man, that Nate really does this a lot. I don't understand. What if there was a secret code no one knew, and then if you hit it, you were released from prison, no matter what the charge. So, like,
that'd be crazy.
Oh, people would be constantly trying to figure out. They'd be like, "Nope, that's not it."
Banana phone.
That could be actually a reality show all in itself. It's just these actual hardened inmates just doing all these goofy things, trying to figure out a code.
Oh my gosh, that we could call it the code, the prison code, the prison code,
The prison code.
and we put normal people in prison. No, we tell the inmates that there's a code, and if they
Secret
hit
code.
the code, they
They're
get
out.
released. But the joke is, there's no code.
There's no code.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome.
You would have to say, right? So if you're a volunteer, if you're one of those weird ones who's like, yes, I want to volunteer to do this, I would say it's a little bit different, right? Like you're not going into 60 days in, like, yes, there's some fear. It's different. It's not comfortable, but you also have that in your back pocket. Like you can leave at any time.
Right.
Yes, there's that
I think it
piece.
changes the dynamic, right?
Oh, for sure. If I'm going in with no get out of jail free card, I'm scared to death. I mean, I'm still scared, but at least I know if I'm in there and some dude wants to beat the crap out of me, I can go, "Oh, I need more TV channels," and then I'm gone,
Right. You're out.
and he doesn't
So-
know where I'm at,
Yeah.
and he can't
I
find. He
just
doesn't.
I don't like how the inmates or the contestants play it, or the participants, I guess. Not contestants, they don't win anything. But like they like hold this over the guards, like, oh, when I get out of here, they're gonna, there'll be some changes. I tell you what. It's like nobody cares.
Nobody cares what Nina thinks, man. It's just not.
Hey,
No.
if we're going off season 9, here's my big worry. If I volunteer to go 60 days in, I'm afraid I'm going to catch a charge because some of these inmates are absolutely horrendous and annoying. And I would.
But Jacob, you and Laura have watched every season. I have only watched
Yes.
9 and season 3, partly. And I will say, Utah is a resort compared to Fulton County. I would,
Yeah.
there's no hardened criminals in the Utah jail. I mean, there probably is, but they're none like Too Tall, who's like beating the crap out of people on a daily basis.
Correct.
There's no
Yeah.
gangs. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like there's gangs. Maybe there's
Utah, there's probably games, but Utah,
More than games.
especially how they film it, Utah is very laid back. There's not a whole lot going on. And then you go to season 3 and watch like a Fulton, and it's like 24/7 entertainment. Like there's something going on every moment of the day.
Well, yeah, but see, Laura, in Utah, they had a CO like there constantly, and in Fulton County, they don't have any officers ever around. Like Jacob
Right.
and I could get into a brawl with 2 people in jail, and they're not going to come. We're just going to get
For a long time.
we're just going to get the crap beat out of us, or we're
Yes.
going to beat the crap out of people.
As the resident Utahn of the group, I will say Utah is a very nice place. Like, there's nice people. I think it's gotten a little worse. But to kind of sum it up, I graduated in 2000 in Utah, and we politely clapped for everybody at an assembly. So it's like the debate team won this week, and everyone would clap and like, yeah,
Oh my
way
gosh.
to go. Hey, I was on the debate team, and I was the
Seriously.
recipient of those claps. So, but I mean, we cheered.
Loser.
Hey, I won first in district. But we cheered just as loud for them as we did for like the football team that granted sucked. But I mean, we High School Musical was filmed in our school district. Like we're just it was a nice community.
So in Utah, when they announce you're going to jail, like Luna going to jail, they're like
Polite clap. Like,
she's bowing on her way into the. See,
way to go.
the jail sitch for me is I wouldn't want to go to jail because I don't want to be away from my family that long. I don't want to have to bend over and spread my cheeks so they
Yeah.
can see the beehole. I don't want that either because they got to inspect it all. And I don't want to take a dump in front of someone and make eye contact. So there's 3 right there is what keeps me from volunteering for 60 days in.
Yeah,
Well,
because
it
for
is a
all those
prison.
who have not seen 60 Days In, there was only usually the sheriff and maybe his highest deputy that actually knew that these were participants. Everybody else in the jail thinks they're just normal inmates, so they have to go through the
For
whole
like
ordeal.
a day. And then they're like, oh, you're in 60 days in.
Not in the beginning. The first like four
Yeah.
seasons, they have no clue.
No. Yeah,
It's in the
'cause
later
it hadn't
season
aired
after
yet.
like any reality show. Once you've done it so many times, everybody knows about it, and they're all
Yeah.
catching on. Like,
Isn't there another 60 Days in like it's another show called 60 Days in like Cartel or something where you try to get.
yeah,
Is that any good? Is that any good?
We
I've
haven't
never
watched
seen
that.
it. I've only watched
Yeah.
this one.
We're purists.
Yeah, you're
Only the original for us.
the OG.
It's such a just an interesting. So, Brad, when we talked about this show, you had not had watched it yet because you thought it was just another documentary of people, which there's like 6 billion documentaries about prison life. But the dynamic changed when you have people just volunteering to go in and suffer, which is just weird. It's just weird. I do love how all of them, how confident they begin. Like, I'm going into prison. I can do this. Anybody can get through this. And within an hour or two, they're like, oh my goodness, I can't do this. I'm out.
It's always the fans of the show that should know better, but they're always like, "Oh, I've watched all of them. I know how to make it," and they're always the first ones out. They're always the first ones out.
Why? I mean, for me, like the 24-hour lockdowns would get me, especially if
Yeah.
I'm stuck in a room with someone I don't like, and I gotta sit and listen to. Like on season 3, I'm watching now. This guy has the long-haired guy's roommate plays the trombone with his mouth, and he's like, and they get stuck in a lockdown because his trombone playing, and the other guy in the program had no. He didn't do anything wrong, but now he's got to sit in there for 24 more hours and listen to this dude go. I mean, that would be annoying.
Would you rather have mouth trombone or would you rather be by yourself for 24 hours?
I'd rather be with
You'd go
myself.
just
By
as-
myself.
You'd go
No.
just as crazy.
No,
Like,
I would
No.
sit and read a book. I bet you can get books in there. I would read a
Yes.
book.
Yes. But we've seen that happen too. I think
The worst is COVID.
Yeah.
The prison they
I was
did in
gonna say
COVID, they were quarantined for 3 weeks, and you were locked up for 23 hours. You got out for 1 hour by yourself.
See, that
for
would be
3
You're
horrible.
going
Yeah.
insane.
Now I would go
You're
insane there, but like, you put me in a cell for 24 hours. I'll give Too Tall my tablet, and then I'll just read a book, and
I would
sleep.
be perfecting my
sleep.
dance moves. I'd be doing all kinds of things.
Oh man, I'd be
just fine.
writing down movie ideas that I have. When I got out, I'd be calling
Exactly.
Jacob and Ashley, going, "What do you think about this pitch, man?"
See, I don't like that you keep referring to Jacob as too tall in your
Oh.
prison scenario.
No, I'm talking about Too Tall on the Fulton
And the
County.
actual Felton
The actual
County.
Too Tall. I just give Too. Yeah, he is Too Tall. That's ironically what Troy's nickname for me is, Too Tall.
If they came to you right now, Brad, Minnesota comes up to you and says, Brad, we have our sandstone prison, and we're going to record 60 Days In, and we feel you'll be a great contestant for this. Are you going?
No, there's nothing that would make me go. The food looks disgusting. Ironically, the food looks terrible, but none of them lose weight. Like they don't seem to lose weight at all. They're all the same size.
Well, that's because they have the advantage that most inmates don't, is that, again, they're not criminals. And so they have a family who is working, and they're sending them like hundreds of dollars to spend on commissary. So they're all buying these massive boxes of Twinkies and Ho-Hos. And
But there again, that's the problem with this show, Laura. You've got these people, and they're spending all this money to be on a show that gives them no money for surviving. And if I'm a sheriff and I gotta bring a TV crew in to show me what's wrong, there's a lot wrong with my place. I should be able to handle this myself. I should be able to go in there, and after watching 9 seasons of 60 Days In, I could just use that as my tutorial and go in there and start, laying some havoc in there. That's what I would do.
No, you're assuming they don't get paid. I do believe they do get paid. They
Oh,
don't
I'm
win
looking
a
that.
prize.
I'm looking that up right now.
I already did. According to Google, it's confidential due to non-disclosure, but one estimate suggests that they receive about $3,000 per episode, potentially totaling $54,000 for a season.
60 days?
60 days.
50,000?
Jacob's like, I'm going. I'm calling him.
Wait. I'm gonna get about 50 grand to take 60
you make
days
it-
off from my family.
Yeah,
Yes.
that changes
All right.
things.
I still wouldn't do it. I don't think I
That's a lot of oatmeal cream pies in the prison system.
I-
56,000.
I have to agree with Brad though. Like if you're bringing on a TV show to find out what's wrong with your prison, like let's take Utah for example. He's like, how are the drugs getting in? Well, then you find out their work program on the outside. The inmates can have people bring them things. They're allowed to bring stuff from the outside. They're not being searched. Well, of course, that's how the drugs are getting into your. Like, come on now.
what is he, a moron? I mean, what other way? I mean, he's got like summer camp
he's
for
Mormon.
job.
He's
I
Mormon.
didn't know he was Mormon, not moron.
But
Sorry,
right,
Bobby. I
like
know my
you
mom's listening.
basically made them a summer camp, like Brad said, and they're just being able to get whatever they want. Of course, they're getting drugs into your facility.
And I worked at a summer camp. You do not get paid that well at a summer camp. That's almost like a prison in and of itself.
I mean, these guys are like having fun, hanging out, switching drugs, and I mean, it's like a Hopecast party at Ashley's house on the weekends. I mean, they're just
Yeah.
If
Like
you
a
were
barn raising.
if you were to go on 60 Days In, would you have the goal to do what Fabian did and actually sneak in fake drugs in your toes?
Heck no, because if they caught that, I mean,
That's charges, real ones.
Yeah.
like he's an idiot. Fabian, for one, I never trust a man who puts a diamond in his cheek. It's really weird to me.
That's true.
like a troll doll.
Yeah, it's like he's a troll doll, and he looked like he's Troy's size. Another weird thing about him. But then Nina was in this kick where she's like, "Stop mansplaining me! Stop mansplaining me!"
She was.
She kept saying mansplain. I'm like, is he mansplaining or just giving you advice? The guy's been in prison for 5 years.
As
And
a
then
man.
takes
Yeah.
it to a level. She tries to give herself a prison tattoo.
Oh my goodness. Like bless
She's
her
an idiot.
heart. She like but I really do like Nina's kind of like me. I feel like when I was a kid, I was 17 and I got charged with a failure to yield.
You criminal.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Failure to yield.
So when I went to court, the judge said I could spend a weekend in juvie or I could pay a fine. And I thought about it.
Hold on.
Wait, what?
This is Utah.
yeah,
You were
You
going
were
to
going to get a
juvie?
weekend in juvie for not yielding?
for failure to yes.
Laura,
That's
this
absurd.
story seems absurd. Are you trying to be hard tonight? Jacob, this sounds absurd.
No, it was a car accident. My friend, both
Oh,
cars got totaled. My
okay.
friend got. My
Now that
friend
makes a
got
little more
out of there.
sense. I'm just thinking you
Yeah.
like ran a stop sign. Okay,
yeah.
juvie for the weekend.
No. But it was citation. The citation was failure to yield.
What was the
But
penalty?
yeah.
What was the fine?
I don't remember because I had a debate meet that weekend, so I couldn't go to juvie, and so my dad paid it. And so the judge.
I wouldn't want you in juvie. Like I wouldn't want Max to go to juvie. He'd come out with a face tat over the weekend. I'm like, oh my goch.
Does
I
that
would've
not?
made the best of it. I would have made the most of it. I would have written a book, like my time in jail. Like I would have made it would have been a good experience, I think.
Laura, I love you to death, but that sounded so like white preppy
I know.
daddy's girl syndrome. She's like, I had a debate meet and my daddy came and paid for it, so I don't even know.
I didn't have to go to juvie.
Happened.
I wanted to go to juvie though. I would have gone. I would have written a book.
I've been so hard at juvie.
I looked at my dad and I'm like, I've got to debate me. And he goes, I'll pay it. And so the judge is like, well, thank your dad. I'm like, I don't think I did. So thanks.
She's
Mom,
going
you
in
can
court.
thank Dad
Jacob,
for me.
she's going in cornrow in her hair.
I would.
She's got the white T-shirt on, tucked in.
Whole face tattoo. I would have looked
all
like
the girls,
Anna Bianca.
all the girls in juvie are going like, "What are you in here for?" And someone's like, "I stole checks, I stole money, I robbed this or that." And I ran a yield sign.
Failure to yield.
Failure to yield.
I feel like if you use that on 60 Days In, you're getting beat up, right? Like, there's no way
Actually,
that.
That
you probably had a
respect
better story than they're given.
Yeah, they
at
give them
least
bad stories.
I faced crime straight on, and I bucked the system.
That-
Me and my father gallantly braved the Utah criminal system.
I can't believe you failure to yield. You're going to go to juvie for the weekend. It's a weekend getaway. I get to go to summer camp.
Just a sleepover. I assume it was Saturday night into Sunday. I probably would have made friends. I would have cried. It would have been.
I
want to see Laura on Scared Straight.
That would be great.
Next time you'll yield.
You get up and give me push-ups right now. You'll never fail to yield again. You hear me?
It was really, it was a really scary night, but it was.
60 days in jail, Laura's not making it.
Yeah.
She'd be tapping out during the. She'd be being processed, and she'd be tapping out, and they'd be like, "We told you can't tap out during processing."
Right. When they were frisking me to handcuff me, I'd be like, "I'm out."
Yeah, I wouldn't even be in contact with the show. They'd be like, "Where did Brad go? Oh, he's gone, man. He's not in the hotel room."
Brad moves to Canada.
Yeah.
So.
I think I'm a fugitive, but I'm really not. I'm a fugitive. I never come back to the States. So like, what are you? I'm running from the law. I'm a fugitive. I was supposed to be on 60 Days In 25 years ago. That show's been canceled for 24 years.
They got you on a documentary, A Fugitive in Canada.
Yeah. All because of 60 Days In. That'd be hilarious, by the way.
That would be funny. I'd still obviously great for entertainment. The show is fantastic. If you've never seen 60 Days In, you need to go watch it. It is worth the watch. But it's like, why anybody volunteers to do this? Who wants to go to jail?
I want to take it back to our prison code show idea, because I feel like this would be fun. Like if they did 60 Days In prison code, where they sent people in like that are comedians like the Jokers, and they had tasks to do every day as part of the show. And if you can make it 60 days with doing the challenges that are presented before you and not get killed or tap out, you win $100,000. But
it could be well known. Like it could be like Kathy Lee Griffin in there. Like
no, it's normal. It's normal people like us going in there, but they're given a challenge every morning. Okay. They wake up and like one day it's like you have to give someone a swirly, or you have to like stand up at chow and go, "I'm a gay American," and then just sit down. Like you have to do really stupid stuff. And if you pass the challenge, you get closer to $100,000. But the prison people don't know. The inmates think you're legit crazy.
Although half of those people are like coming down off drugs and crazy anyway, so that you would probably fit right in.
Yeah.
You'd probably seem more like an inmate than you would not.
You have to go in someone's cell and touch their stuff. Oh my God.
What jail system is like, yeah, come do your wacky game show in my jail? Like,
any of these would do it because they want to be on TV.
That's true. No. Think about this. So go back to your idea where you said like the inmates find the secret thing. What if they run that show, but then like some like notorious serial killer is the one that figures it out and he's getting out of prison? That'd be horrible.
No, Jacob, there's no code. It's trick. They're tricking the inmates.
You said that, yeah.
They're tricking the inmates, and then at the end they go, "Joke's on you guys, losers. There is no. You're
tonight,
stuck in here."
Tonight on ABC.
Here you go.
And then we get tonight on ABC. Prison riot breaks out and.
During the filming of A&E's Prison Code, produced by the Hopecast Network, Jacob Shakur and Brad Love.
The inmates were informed that they were actually tricked. There was no code.
This show could only go 1 year, one season.
It could. I am surprised.
It would be funny though. I'd watch it. I think it'd be hilarious.
I did want to touch on this because I think this is important, like especially when you get into like season 7, 8, 9 of 60 Days In. How are you not as a prison guard immediately like, oh, this is 60 Days In as soon as they're putting up cameras? Like this late in the season. Like you should be on your best behavior as a prison guard as it is and do your job well. But I'm saying I'd be doing my job extremely extra well as soon as I seen any type of weird camera going up that doesn't belong. I'd be like, this is 60 Days In.
I'm always surprised that they don't use the facilities camera system because I'm sure they have one. They have.
Yeah, but
I would assume they would have one.
They can't be good though. They can't be good.
They're not that many.
It's the pulling people out for interviews, I think. That it's like, why is this guy always getting pulled out? Nobody even talks to him or likes him.
Well,
I
they
always
should
think
be.
that's the bad part. Is the camera following the one person, because that's what always busted
Yeah.
them. They'd always be like, that camera's always following you. And they'd be like, oh,
Because think about it. Me and Jacob are actually in lockup. All we've got all day is to watch people. So we're people watching everything. What they should do is put them in the bathrooms, like the showers. Then they'd be like, well, this show wouldn't do shower videos. You don't turn them on, but you just put them in there as a way to like make them
that's
feel
true.
it. They'd be like, well, no show would be filming us if it's on television. So they're doing this from the jail.
I get
I
that.
don't think that the government can put toilet cams in for you.
I'm not a toilet. I don't want a toilet cam. I'm talking like a shower.
secret toilet cam. Bump, bump, bump.
I think that's cruel and unusual punishment. I don't.
Wait, that's cruel, but telling inmates there's a code and watching them go crazy trying to figure out it's not cruel.
I didn't agree to that, and that's
Laura, you would watch Prison Code though, right? You would definitely watch.
No, I would not
100%. Yes, I would
would?
100%.
You wouldn't think it was hilarious watching a dude do
No.
tricks in prison?
Absolutely hilarious.
Well, it depends on who. Like we talked about this on one of our last episodes. Is I don't like practical joke shows where they make fun of people. Like I don't like people being made the subject of mockery.
You got
However,
you got one of the jokesters.
You-
He goes into a
Yeah.
prison guard with a shank. He's like,
Murder.
"Oh, look, I got a shank. Found it behind your ear." And then he makes it disappear. He goes, "Oh no, where'd it go?"
The ultimate
I'll
challenge.
leave that.
The ultimate
Now,
challenge at the end for our contestants is they're given a shank in the morning and they have to stab someone to win.
And not
find
get
the
caught.
prisoner that that they have to shank. Yeah. No.
Your victory is that you get out of prison. Your penalty is you get a real sentence.
Yeah.
If you're
Actually, we're sentencing you to prison because you didn't end it. You didn't kill him.
Oh man,
Laura, I feel like but we're humiliating criminals who have done criminal things. So I don't really feel sorry for them.
it's true.
Some people aren't there because they're not all there. Like
Yes,
some
but
people are just
Yes.
not all there.
But I will I keep going back to season 3, but this guy was like, who's on the show, he said, it's not that hard to end up in prison. I think it is hard to end up in jail.
It's gonna be difficult.
I think it's harder to end up in jail than it is to stay out of jail because
Yes.
I can go my whole life and not commit a crime. Now, if Kristen washes up dead tomorrow, of course they're going to look at me and think I did something.
Right.
But my conscience is clear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to prison. There's nothing going
Right,
to send
but-
me to prison.
But there's also accidents that can happen. Like there could be like maybe you were drinking and you didn't drink that much, but you caused an accident where someone died and now you're in there.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. But then
There's a lot there's a lot of gray, and so for that, yeah, if it was all like hardened criminals, like serial killers, yeah, I guess, but those aren't the people I would want to poke fun at either. Like,
Would you, Laura?
John Wayne Gacy, like no.
Well, that
thanks.
is you. Yeah. You like
Joke's on
Gacy,
you.
though, right? Yeah.
Well,
She does.
like is not a word to use.
She made us pay tickets to a torture museum just so we could see some paintings of John Wayne Gacy's.
And I'm hoping we can go again this next weekend to go see
And-
it again.
The listeners, I'm going to include the listeners. We hang out a lot. Our families hang out a lot. What the listeners don't know is sometimes Laura makes Jacob cosplay as John Wayne Gacy when they come over. He's in the clown suit. And I'm always like, this is weird. And he's like, isn't that right, Jacob? And she's like, call him John.
You want me to make you some balloon animals?
You
Jacob
don't
makes
even
the worst
know-
balloon animals.
You don't even know his clown name, so I can't speak.
What was his clown name?
Pogo.
Oh my gosh! You make me call Jacob Pogo. I'm imagining this dinner.
I feel bad because
We're
one
booking a
listener, our one listener that I can count on, my poor mother is probably like, "Oh no, my poor little girl's being mocked." So,
What about
I'm
MTD? He
okay.
listens. MTD listens.
Well,
MTV doesn't listen.
I know my mother does because we talk about it weekly, but I know for sure she'll be like, "My poor little girl was mocked." I'm okay, Mom.
No, she's
What?
laughing.
Laura,
She's
Laura, would you drink prison hooch?
No,
I mean,
no, I would not.
They made hooch in the Atlanta one,
They do.
and
Yes.
Max is like, "What's hooch, Dad?" And I'm like, "Well, it's liquor. It's alcohol made from the toilet, if I'm not mistaken."
so they use kind of, but yeah,
Well-
they're saving all their fruit cups and things like that, and then they put it in a bag and make a mash with some bread, and then
They
they
usually
hide it in the
hide that in
toilet
the
for
toilet
like 60,
tank.
like
Yeah.
for so long for it
60
to
days.
ferment. 60
Oh.
days.
60 days in the toilet.
You ain't trying the hooch, Brad?
No.
And I know we're talking about Utah, but I was telling Jacob that I like the Atlanta one. And there's this girl on there, Laura, named Sydney. And she's probably the most attractive girl that I've seen on the 60 Days In. Well, I did I looked her up. I'm like, let's see what's happening with Sydney now. Sydney's dead now. She died in a car crash in November of 2016. Her dad was driving at night. They died in a car crash. She was 21 years old. I did the math. I looked it up. They filmed in Fulton when she was there in the fall. So basically, we watched her. She had like a month left to live when we're watching her on this show because
That's
she
crazy.
got out in November and died. So, yeah, pretty sad, man. Fulton County's
That
sad,
is.
but she's probably the most attractive person I've seen that doesn't look like a druggie, although I think she was taking some Zolofts for depression, and her roomies, her cellies were selling her their Zolofts.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you look her up? Her name is Sydney. I forget her last name.
One last thing I'm going to bring up about
There's
Utah,
so many
because
Sydneys.
the most
Just
offensive,
type in Sydney season 3 Fulton County. You'll see her.
the most offensive thing about Utah was that they made you, as big as day, wear your size on your jumpsuits.
Yeah.
I don't want people to know what my size is. People walk
Yeah.
around, what up, 4X?
Pogo's a 4X.
Right. Like, get that out of here. I don't want people to know what my size is.
I don't either, man.
What up, small? Man.
What up, Weedy? Little.
Yeah. Yeah. We didn't take Large's word for much.
Oh,
So,
man.
Jacob, the Pee Wee Herman, tell him Large Marge sent you. Maybe
That's
she
true.
was in prison, and
She
that
could
was
have
her
been.
size.
Oh, Large Marge. Yeah.
Marge, that would have been.
See?
She was in Utah
Tell him
prison.
Large Marge.
Marge
sent
sent
ya.
ya.
Jacob loves saying that. It's
I do
so
say it all the time.
obnoxious. It's so obnoxious. Well, I feel bad because this show doesn't have a theme song.
It does not.
60
Normally
days
we
in.
ask, what's your favorite
Normally,
part of the
yeah.
theme song? But this one does not have a
It's
theme
got
song.
a theme of sadness.
It does.
It's not a song.
So I would have to give this one a 0 out of 10 because there's no song. There's no theme
there's
song.
no song. So come on, 60 Days In. Well, they do they do prison bar or
Yeah,
anything like
they
that?
do that. Yes.
They
Oh,
lock
okay,
you
a
up.
1, I guess, but
Like
any
every other
best-
prison documentary.
any good lines from this season that anyone remembers from season 9?
No.
Usually talk about good lines
I would-
that happened.
I would say Luna was obnoxious and had some funny lines of her, her condescending tone.
Yes. Oh, I do
wish
love
her
though
well.
when
I wish
Nina's
her
talking to the camera and Luna hears it, and she's like, "Okay, plant."
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
but
how about
she is
mansplain?
like-
Mansplain's a good
Mansplain
line.
was good.
Mansplain's a line, or I think she said, I don't have a roomie now, so I can finally take a dump without
Yep.
looking at someone. That was a good line.
I like when she was invited to be that person's cell roommate, and then the lady just farted all the time.
Oh, that was
PB,
hilarious.
cool.
That was
And
hilarious.
then
great.
the best part I'll give this of season 9 is when all the girls finally leave, all the real inmates are like, all 3 of those were 60 days in. They knew the whole entire time.
AB and Scarlett and Nina Dana, all 3 of them, 60 days in, they're gone now.
Like
Yeah,
they
that was
weren't fooling nobody.
I would say
no.
this. I would say the saddest line was, "I'm gonna go back to my glamorous life, and you're still gonna be on drugs and homeless."
I felt so bad. I
That
hope
was
Vicky's
sad.
doing well.
Laura
I
yelled
hope
at me
Vicky's doing
because
well.
then when they were interviewing Vicky, she's like, "Well, I'm going back to the streets, but I'm going to work really hard to get home." I was like, "I guess Scarlett wasn't wrong. She is homeless."
Scarlett was right.
not that she was right or wrong. It just like didn't need to be said. Like that was. I think they're all terrible people. Let's just draw the line there.
It was a different season for sure.
Yeah.
They are terrible,
It was
and
not that great.
it was okay for me as a first timer. But Fulton County looks
Yeah.
disgusting compared to what I see at Salt
Oh
Lake.
yeah,
so
it's
there's
way
that.
different.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
if I had to go to Fulton County Jail, I'd be so scared. Like that would not. I'd be like, my life is over, man. Like I can't do it. I'm clocking out, Pogo.
That's right. Well, folks, there you have it. That is 60 Days In with our special guest, Brad. We're glad that he was able to come on with us and talk about 60 Days In. We appreciate all your listeners. And as you're listening, please give us a like, leave us a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And when you're done listening to us, as always, go check out the Hope Cast Network at hopecast.com and see all the other amazing shows we have to offer that can fill your days until you get to hear us next time on TV Tortured
Or movie tour.
Bye.
or Movie Tortured.